Do you guys know who Dr. Emoto is? He did research on water where he placed water that they had done things to under microscopes. So basically what they did was they took like a glass of water, or it's mainly a cup of water. They wrote, or they said, either way, the word love, and then they, and I don't want to hold this while I say the word, but they would take another cup and put the word hate, or say the word hate, onto that cup. And the first one on the right is love, and the other one is hate. Now, do you see the difference? How it turns into a snowflake, and the hate word does something else. It does something more sinister. They started doing it on rice. Love, nothing, and hate. See how the different rices changed? And that's just words or things written. And there's all kinds of research, you can look him up. And I actually have the links for these articles that I can share with you. The photograph below represents angel and devil and captures the vibratory level those two words have independently produced upon the structure of water. Archetypal energy of polarities comes to mind, shown by the experiment of the words below, as well as other examples within volumes of 1 and 2. I have found through personal experience there is a direct correlation between death and dying and the archetypal energies associated with the state of corruption, which begins with biological pollution. Angel and devil. Snowflake and weird. I don't believe in forcing a way of belief on anyone, and I don't expect somebody to do it to me or my team. That we are made up of mostly water, so when a personal or any kind of word is said to you, it changes the molecular structure of who you are, just like it changes the molecular structure of your water, okay? So the reason my team is instructed to remove the devil card from the tarot cards in the shop is because that word is changing the molecular structure of a reading. Now, I'm very open to discussing this topic with people that are open-minded and have their own opinion on it, who may think that by doing that it's ruining the reading. But a higher source positive energy is not going to allow a collective message come through if they're dealing with an actual intent of energy that is out of the alignment of a positive message. But I think what people think is they believe that there should be negative and positive to the readings, but that's what happens when you reverse the cards. You get a negative effect when the cards are reversed. So again, it goes back to, you don't really need that card. And of course, you guys know we've talked about this for the last, well, I've talked about it for about 8 or 9 years, but when we were getting lots of people coming in asking for tarot cards, and we sadly had to, let them know we weren't doing that, Maria had talked to me and said about the only thing you can do is turn it into an oracle. And the only way to do that is by removing the intent, the molecular structure of the reading being casted when these cards are being formed in the way when this intent is involved. So we started removing it. Another interrogation was why we were unsealing or taking apart the tarot plastic. And the reason I started doing that is because we were getting a lot of people buying cards, tarot or not. They didn't like the cards. Maybe they didn't resonate with them, or they weren't getting the reading they thought they would get, and they just were unhappy, uncomfortable with it. So we decided, you know, what's best for my shop, at least, is let's just unseal them. Let's give them the opportunity to hold them like they do a crystal, play around, feel the energy, and then they can decide if they want to take them home. That way they're not going home, and I mean, you guys have known, you take something home, you open it up, and you're like, oh, this was not what I thought it was, and now I'm stuck with it. And I don't want people to feel stuck with any of our products. I want them to feel happy and confident with what they're buying. So we started unsealing them to allow people to connect to them, to adapt to them. My team follows a certain policy that's, you know, just regular policy. This situation was definitely not part of regular policy. It was definitely different. So we had to, well, they had to, you know, get with me, and a lot of things were posted I had taken down because we're not giving energy to that stuff. There's reasons why we do things here at the shop. If I can protect people from things, then I will do what I can. And I get a lot of people asking the same question you are asking right now, Becky, as to what do we do with that card after we take it out. Again, I go back to, you know, take it off property, burn it in a hole, put sea salt over top, and then put the soil back over, so that you're returning that energy in a positive way back into Mother Gaia, who will then recycle it to her advantage with helping humanity. So again, that energy is a specific word with a specific intent that's changing the molecular structure like it does water. You're placing an intent onto the cards. So it would have been nice to have whoever was concerned with this to talk to us about it. But again, I wasn't around to kind of guide my team, so they were following regular protocol, which is normal because we, you know, we try to go and use past examples for that protocol that we've dealt with before. Karma, yes, they had sent screenshots and everything to me to look over. I couldn't read them. It's just a lot of, well, once those words get placed, again, it changes the molecular structure, and we're trying to teach our kids right now about bullying and what it does to a person. I mean, so many kids right now are killing themselves because of the words changing the molecular structure of who they are, and to get in such a anger state over a card that represents not positive, it doesn't represent positive, it kind of makes me stand back in awe to want to torment and bully someone over a card. Now, nobody has to follow. Again, I don't believe in pushing my belief on anyone, and I don't believe that anybody should push their belief on anyone. If you have an opinion on something, then that's okay. Let's have our opinions without having to go to an alignment energy of tormenting or bullying somebody because you don't agree with their concept. There's other ways to buy tarot cards. You don't have to follow the way we do it here. I mean, there's shops probably where you live, and there's, you know, online supply where you can buy them. And if there was an author that didn't agree with the way we do it, absolutely, I'm not losing out. If somebody didn't agree with it, all they have to do is call the shop and we will remove it. Absolutely. I have no problem with that, because I tell the clients, you know, appreciate the deck as it is, as you know, with what we've done. It's still a beautiful deck to appreciate. So if they're still buying the deck, they're still being appreciated. I'm not losing out if they don't want their deck here. I totally understand that. It's nice to know that there's others out there that have the same, you know, concepts of alignment and way of thinking. Yeah, so I just wanted to let you guys know we took that stuff down. We're not giving it energy, because I've seen too much death surrounding bullying, and I feel it could have been handled a lot more respectfully. If you didn't agree with something, then, you know, respectfully understand that you have your opinions, we have ours. I follow a certain way with my spirit team, and I'm going to stick to that way. But I'm never going to push that on you guys. If you choose to keep that card in your deck, that is your learning, and how you want to learn is how you want to learn. How we are learning is how we learn. Thank you, Rebecca. They're not my decks. I didn't create them, but the decks we pick are very beautiful, yes. I think the team was just, you know, they were worried because we were getting some weird messages about people showing up in devil costumes at the shop, and I don't understand the thought process behind that. I don't know if these souls are growing and evolving as they should. I think I can't wrap my head around that way of thinking. I don't know where that's coming from, especially if you are claiming to be a channeler or a reader of spirit. That's not coming from a positive alignment way of thinking. So I'm thinking maybe they have been around that molecular structure for too long, and it's changed their molecular structure and warping maybe some of the thought processes coming in. I don't know. All I know is we're going to move on with our lives and continue on, and